The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly, broken only by the soft hum of Unji's sleek vessel. Her species, the Creel, were hunters unlike any other, predators who had perfected the art of survival across multiple star systems. Each movement of her vessel was calculated, each breath measured with the precision of a perfect hunting machine. Sensors flickered across her biomechanical control panel, detecting a faint energy signature in the distant quadrant. Most prey would have gone unnoticed, but this signal was different. Unusual. Intriguing. The human exploration ship, Horizon Explorer, drifted quietly through the cosmic void. Its design was simple yet elegant, nothing like the aggressive war machines Unji had encountered in her countless hunting missions. Captain Jae-sung Kim sat in the command chair, his fingers lightly touching the holographic interface, monitoring the ship's systems with calm precision. Unji's vessel began its approach. Her species had a reputation spanning hundreds of star systems. They were feared, respected, and universally understood as the ultimate predators. Biological adaptations allowed her to shift between physical forms, analyze prey's molecular structures, and determine the most efficient consumption method. As she drew closer, something felt different. The human ship didn't respond with typical prey reactions, no panic, no desperate attempts to escape, no aggressive defensive maneuvers. It simply continued its trajectory, almost peaceful. Her advanced scanning systems began probing the human vessel. Complex biological signatures revealed multiple life forms, each with unique genetic markers. Humans. A species she had heard rumors about but never directly encountered. Intelligence reports suggested they were unpredictable, adaptable, but ultimately just another potential meal in the universe's grand buffet. Inside the Horizon Explorer, Jae-sung noticed the approaching vessel. His crew remained calm, their training evident in their measured responses. No fear, no unnecessary tension. Just professional readiness. Unidentified vessel approaching, announced the ship's artificial intelligence in a neutral tone. Scanning parameters indicate potential non-standard encounter. Unji's predatory instincts hummed with anticipation. Her body, a marvel of evolutionary engineering, could transform at molecular levels. Sharp exoskeletal structures could emerge within milliseconds, turning her into a perfect killing machine. Digestive systems capable of breaking down almost any organic matter were primed and ready. Yet something felt different about this approach. The distance between the two vessels continued to decrease. Unji's historical hunting data suggested multiple strategies: sudden attack, molecular disruption, complete consumption. But something held her back. A curiosity that felt almost alien to her predatory nature. Jae-sung leaned forward, studying the approaching vessel's unique energy signature. His years of exploration had taught him that every encounter in space carried potential for conflict, for understanding, for something entirely unexpected. Maintain standard communication protocols, he instructed his communication officer. Let's see what they want. Unji's sensory appendages tingled with an emotion she rarely experienced: uncertainty. Her entire evolutionary history had prepared her for hunting, consuming, surviving. But this human vessel challenged everything she knew about predator-prey dynamics. The next few moments would determine everything. Would this be another routine hunt, or something entirely different? As the vessels drew closer, the universe seemed to hold its breath, waiting to witness an encounter that would challenge the very understanding of survival, intelligence, and the complex dance of life among the stars. Unji's fingers hovered over her control systems, ready to initiate her species' perfect hunting sequence. Yet, for the first time in her existence, she hesitated. Something was different about these humans. Something unexpected was about to unfold. The silence between the two vessels felt thick with tension. Unji's sophisticated communication systems prepared multiple interaction protocols, each designed to establish dominance or initiate a swift predatory engagement. But something unusual was happening. Captain Jae-sung Kim's voice crackled through the communication channels, calm and steady. Unknown vessel, this is Horizon Explorer. We detect potential technical difficulties with your ship. Do you require assistance? Assistance? The word itself seemed foreign to Unji. In her species understanding, encounters between different life forms were transactional, one consumed, the other was consumed. The concept of offering help without immediate biological benefit was incomprehensible. Her neural networks processed the communication multiple times, searching for hidden threats or manipulation strategies. But the human signal remained consistent, genuine, open, seemingly without malicious intent. The Creel communication systems, designed for efficient predatory interactions, struggled to interpret this unusual approach. Unji noticed micro-damages in her vessel's external hull, remnants of a recent asteroid collision that had weakened her ship's structural integrity. Jae-sung observed the alien vessel's subtle movements. Years of interstellar exploration had taught him that every species communicated differently. His training emphasized understanding over confrontation, diplomacy over aggression. "We are detecting structural vulnerabilities in your vessel," he continued. "Our medical and technical teams are prepared to provide support if needed." Unji's biological sensors detected something unexpected, a range of emotional signatures from the human vessel that didn't match typical prey responses. Curiosity. Concern. Something that felt remarkably close to compassion. Her species had encountered hundreds of intelligent life forms across multiple star systems. Some were aggressive, some were defensive, some were simply focused on survival. But none had ever offered unconditional assistance. The Horizon Explorer's systems began transmitting detailed technical schematics, showing potential repair methods for the damaged sections of Unji's vessel. It was an open invitation, a gesture that defied every predatory interaction protocol she had ever known. Crew members on the human ship moved with practiced efficiency. Medical teams prepared emergency response kits. Technical specialists reviewed alien vessel structural designs. All without fear, all with a sense of professional calm that seemed almost supernatural. Unji's neural pathways began experiencing something unprecedented: confusion. Her entire evolutionary history suggested immediate aggressive response or complete avoidance. This was something entirely different. "We can provide immediate medical support if any of your crew are injured," Jae-sung's voice continued, each word measured and clear. "Our xenobiological teams are prepared for multiple physiological configurations." The communication was an invitation, not a threat. An offer of help, not a preparation for conflict. Her species had 1,000 ways to consume intelligent life. They had hunting techniques that could dissolve biological matter within seconds. They had evolved to be the perfect predators, adaptable and ruthless. But they had never been offered help. Microsensors on her vessel began analyzing the human communication patterns. No deception detected. No hidden aggressive strategies identified. Just a genuine offer of assistance. Jae-sung waited, his hand slightly touching the communication panel. Years of diplomatic training had taught him that patience was often more powerful than any weapon. He understood that every species had its own communication rhythm, its own understanding of interaction. Unji's entire biological system was experiencing something close to what humans might call shock. Her predatory algorithms were processing an interaction that existed completely outside their established understanding. The universe, vast and mysterious, seemed to pause. Two vessels. One predator. One potential prey. But the traditional roles were blurring, transforming into something neither had anticipated. Something extraordinary was about to unfold, a moment that would challenge everything Unji knew about survival, interaction, and the complex dance of intelligent life among the stars. The first human medical team approached Unji's vessel with unexpected grace. Led by Dr. Park Hyejin, a xenobiological specialist with decades of interstellar experience, they carried advanced medical equipment designed for multiple physiological configurations. Unji watched through her vessel's external sensors, her biological systems processing every minute detail of human movement. Their approach wasn't aggressive. It wasn't calculated. It was compassionate. Dr. Park's team wore specialized adaptive suits that could adjust to multiple environmental conditions. Each member carried multiple medical kits, each designed to respond to potential unknown biological scenarios. Their movements were synchronized, professional, yet somehow gentle. Vessel stabilization complete, announced the lead technical officer. Preparing for potential medical intervention. Unji's neural network struggled to comprehend this scenario. In her species' understanding, an injured predator was eliminated, not rescued. The humans were doing something completely outside her evolutionary programming. Captain Jae-sung monitored the operation from the Horizon Explorer's bridge. His hands remained steady, his breathing calm. Years of interstellar exploration had taught him that every encounter was a potential bridge between different civilizations. The medical team's initial scans revealed extensive damage to Unji's vessel. Microfractures in the hull, compromised energy systems, and potential biological stress markers indicated a recent violent encounter. But instead of seeing her as a threat, they saw her as a being requiring assistance. Dr. Park's communication was direct yet kind. "We're detecting multiple structural and biological stress points. Our medical team is prepared to provide comprehensive support." Unji's sensory appendages detected something unusual. The humans were generating electromagnetic frequencies that suggested emotional states beyond simple survival instincts. Concern, empathy, curiosity. Her species had thousands of ways to consume intelligent life. They had evolved as perfect predators, with biological systems that could adapt and eliminate threats within milliseconds. But they had never encountered a species that offered help without expecting immediate return. The technical team began implementing repair protocols. Advanced nano-repair systems started sealing hull breaches. Quantum stabilization fields adjusted the vessel's energy signatures. Each movement was precise, calculated, yet somehow gentle. Jae-sung shared a brief moment with Dr. Park through the communication systems. No words were needed. Their professional understanding transcended typical communication barriers. Unji observed human interactions with growing fascination. They moved as a collective, yet each individual seemed to have unique purpose. Their technological systems were advanced, but not purely functional. There was an aesthetic quality, a sense of design that went beyond mere survival. "Structural integrity at 62% and rising," announced the technical officer. Medical team preparing comprehensive biological assessment. The humans weren't just repairing her vessel. They were treating it, and by extension, her. With a level of respect that contradicted everything her species understood about interspecies interactions. Dr. Park's team prepared specialized medical scanners. These weren't weapons. They were tools of understanding, of potential healing. Each scanner was calibrated to minimize potential biological stress, to gather information without causing harm. Unji's neural systems began experiencing something unprecedented, a form of emotional response that her species had never documented. Something close to wonder. The vessel's internal systems, damaged and struggling, began responding to human intervention. Quantum repair mechanisms synchronized with human technological approaches. It was like watching two different musical instruments finding an unexpected harmony. Captain Jae-sung watched the operation with calm precision. This wasn't just a rescue mission. This was a moment of potential understanding, a bridge between two completely different evolutionary paths. As human technical teams continued their work, Unji realized something fundamental was changing. Not just in her vessel's systems, but in her entire understanding of intelligent life. The universe, vast and mysterious, seemed to hold its breath. Two species, traditionally understood as predator and potential prey, were discovering something far more complex than simple survival. A new chapter was about to begin. The medical bay of the Horizon Explorer hummed with quiet energy. Unji, now carefully monitored by human medical teams, experienced something unprecedented in her species' history: direct interaction without immediate threat of consumption. Dr. Park Hyejin sat across from her, a holographic translator converting complex biological communication signals into comprehensible language. Her approach was neither aggressive nor submissive, simply curious. "Your species has survived multiple evolutionary challenges," Dr. Park observed. "What drives your survival strategy?" Unji's neural systems processed the question carefully. Creel survival had always been about consumption, territorial dominance, and ruthless elimination of potential threats. But these humans challenged every established understanding. Captain Jae-sung entered the medical bay, bringing with him a collection of human historical records. Images of human exploration, scientific achievements, and cultural developments flickered across the holographic display. The visual narrative was stunning. Humans had transformed from primitive tribal societies to galactic explorers, not through pure physical strength, but through cooperation, innovation, and collective intelligence. Eun-ji watched scenes of human medical teams saving different species, scientific researchers collaborating across planetary boundaries, and communities rebuilding after complex environmental challenges. Each image contradicted her predatory understanding of intelligent life. "We survive by understanding, not just consuming," Jae-sung explained. "Our strength is in our ability to adapt, to learn, to collaborate." Her biological sensors detected something extraordinary. These humans weren't just showing technical capabilities, but demonstrating a complex emotional intelligence that went beyond simple survival mechanisms. Images of human art, music, and cultural expressions further complicated her understanding. These weren't just survival tools, but complex representations of emotional and intellectual experiences. Dr. Park shared stories of human medical breakthroughs. How they had developed technologies to heal not just their own species, but had created universal medical protocols that could assist multiple biological configurations. Eun-ji's neural networks began experiencing a profound transformation. Her entire evolutionary history suggested that intelligence was about domination, about being the most efficient predator. But humans were showing a different path: intelligence as a tool for collective advancement. The medical team continued their careful observations. They weren't treating her as a specimen or a potential threat, but as a sentient being with inherent value. Jae-sung explained human philosophical concepts: empathy, mutual understanding, collective progress. These weren't just abstract ideas, but fundamental survival strategies that had allowed humans to expand across multiple star systems. Her species had conquered through physical superiority. Humans were conquering through understanding, through the ability to see potential in difference rather than threat. Technical teams continued repairing her vessel, each action demonstrating a level of care that went beyond immediate survival needs. They were investing resources without guaranteed return, a concept completely alien to her predatory evolutionary path. Complex holographic displays showed human technological evolution. From primitive stone tools to quantum communication systems, each stage demonstrated not just technological progress, but a fundamental belief in collective potential. Eun-ji realized something profound was happening. Her understanding of intelligence was fundamentally transforming. Survival wasn't just about consuming or eliminating threats, it was about understanding, adapting, and growing together. Dr. Park placed her hand near Eun-ji's biomechanical interface, a gesture of potential connection, of reaching across biological boundaries. "We are different," she said simply. "But difference doesn't mean conflict. It means opportunity." The medical bay, filled with advanced technologies in two entirely different biological systems, became a microcosm of something larger. A moment of potential understanding between two completely different evolutionary paths. Eun-ji's neural systems were no longer just processing information. They were experiencing a transformation that would challenge everything her species had ever understood about survival, intelligence, and the complex dance of life among the stars. Something extraordinary was unfolding, a philosophical revolution that would change everything. Weeks had passed since Eun-ji's unexpected encounter with the human exploration team. Her vessel, now fully repaired, prepared to return to Creel homeworld. But something fundamental had changed within her biological systems, a transformation that went beyond physical repair. The Creel High Council awaited her report with typical predatory anticipation. They expected a detailed account of potential human weaknesses, consumption strategies, or territorial vulnerabilities. Instead, Eun-ji carried something far more dangerous: understanding. Her neural transmission began, breaking centuries of traditional Creel communication protocols. She shared not just data, but experience. The holographic displays revealed moments of human compassion, technological innovation, and collective intelligence that challenged every established predatory doctrine. Council members watched in stunned silence. Images of human medical teams treating alien life forms, scientific collaborations across different species, and complex emotional intelligence flickered across their advanced sensory systems. They do not survive by consuming, Unji explained. They survive by understanding. The concept was revolutionary. Creole civilization had always believed in survival through dominance, through eliminating potential threats. Humans demonstrated a completely different evolutionary strategy: survival through cooperation, adaptation, and mutual growth. Technical records showed how humans had developed technologies not just for their own species, but for universal application. Medical protocols that could assist multiple biological configurations. Communication systems designed to bridge understanding rather than establish territorial boundaries. Council members' sensory appendages trembled. This wasn't just a report. This was a fundamental challenge to their entire civilization's understanding of intelligent life. Unji shared her personal transformation. How Captain Jae-sung and Dr. Park had shown her that intelligence wasn't about physical superiority, but about the capacity to understand, to empathize, to grow. Her neural transmission included complex emotional signatures, something unprecedented in Creole communication. She wasn't just reporting. She was feeling, understanding, experiencing a profound philosophical shift. The High Council chamber, typically a place of strategic planning and predatory calculations, became something else. A space of potential transformation. Images of human cultural expressions, art, music, scientific exploration, challenged every established Creole understanding of intelligent life. These weren't just survival tools. These were expressions of a complex emotional and intellectual ecosystem. We have been looking at survival incorrectly, Unji stated. Her voice carried a calm certainty that shocked the council members. Survival is not about consuming. It's about understanding. Technical advisors began analyzing her transmission. Complex data streams revealed something extraordinary: the potential for a completely new approach to interspecies interaction. The Creole homeworld, a planet built on predatory survival strategies, began experiencing a subtle but profound shift. One transmission was challenging centuries of established evolutionary understanding. Jae-sung's final message, included in Unji's report, became a pivotal moment. Difference doesn't mean conflict. It means opportunity. Council members realized something fundamental was changing. Their entire civilization stood at a philosophical crossroads. Continue with established predatory strategies or explore a new path of understanding. Unji's neural systems continued transmitting not just data, but a complex emotional landscape that suggested something radical: the possibility of cooperation over consumption. The universe, vast and mysterious, seemed to pause. A single encounter between a human exploration team and a predatory alien species was rewriting understanding of intelligent life. Something extraordinary was happening. A philosophical revolution that would transform not just one species, but potentially reshape interspecies interactions across multiple star systems. The transmission ended. Silence filled the council chamber. The Creole civilization stood on the edge of a profound transformation. And everything was about to change.